TIFU by saying I might want a prenup to my fiancé. We had been engaged 4 months and things were going great. Literally the best relationship I've ever had. Ironically, just this morning we were talking about how strong we were and don't have any issues, like other couples seem to have. I had mentioned we should talk about future financial planning. She has said the other times I brought this up that she would rather wait until we are actually married. Then she asked what's the difference if we wait until then. I said about what happens if it doesn't work out. Then she asked if so I meant a prenup, and I hesitantly, well, I would like to keep my house. Over the next 5 minutes she went from "I'm fine" to "I can't marry you," and now I have a month to move out. My place is rented out on the other side of the country. We live in her place where I contribute to the mortgage. For perspective, we have roughly the same assets, a house and car each. And I made a bit more than her and have more savings. Her perspective is it's horrible of me to ask this of her. It shows I don't trust her. I don't really love her. I'm selfishly that kind of person who only cares about protecting my stuff. So it's not like a real family. And I didn't consider how it would affect her to ask this of her. She feels extremely insulted, and the fact that I might consider this is a big offense to her. I feel horrible. I didn't realize it was going to be interpreted like this, and it doesn't mean any of those things. I had been divorced before and didn't have a prenup. And my ex-wife didn't take anything she didn't earn. That make things even worse. I'm a crazy planner, and when reading about planning for the future, it was mentioned about also having a plan for if things don't work out. So I rolled those up into my plans. I wasn't dead set or strongly stating I have to have one. From the research I did, it seemed just like something you do if you have assets before marriage. And I said as much after this altercation that I don't need one. Forget I said it. But it's too late now. I have revealed what kind of person I am. I can't take it back. So I have a month to move out. I'm oscillating between numbness and having a full-on panic attack. I love this girl more than anything. I'd take a bullet for her. I feel like my life is over. Our dog the only thing keeping me calm now. Well, technically her dog, so I'll lose that too. TLDR. I mentioned about a possibility of a prenup to my fiancé of 4 months. She was extremely hurt and offended. Call off marriage and is giving me a month to move out. Her reaction feels suspicious to me. It's way out of proportion to your ask. A healthy couple would have a discussion, so this feels really extreme. Man, this wasn't headed in a good direction if that's all it took to get her to bail. I suspect you could feel that. #location flag #location flag #location flag. Nah man, that is very worrying from her. I can understand her feeling hurt, but breaking up over it is not reasonable. A prenup is just additional planning. It isn't absolutely necessary, but nice to have, and you should write it up in good faith expecting to never need it. This is how she handles a fight. You had not had one yet. Now you know she will make your concerns about her insecurities. Proceed with caution. If you were going to get married, it's worth at least another discussion or 10 when she calms down. There may be some underlying reason that would explain her reaction. If she doesn't calm down and her response remains unfounded, mark that the most important question you ever asked. It sucks now, but you'll be thankful it happened now instead of after you were married. You deserve someone that loves you unconditionally and without equivocation. Everyone does. Hang in there. It'll get better. A prenup simply ensures that neither party can take advantage of the other. If she's that opposed to it, I doubt her intentions. You might feel she's good, but only because you're looking at the situation with rose-tinted glasses, and not objectively from the outside. Marriage is just a piece of paper. It's the relationship that matters. The only difference between a marriage and a live-in is 1. Default inheritance rights, which you can also get with a will. 2. Alimony, child support and cleaning you out in case you want to part ways. Since number 1 has a simple alternative, the only reason to get married is to stake a claim on the other person's assets and earnings. Else, why not just continue in a live-in like you were happily doing all along? Red flags. 1. You make the same but her savings are lower. That shows you're more financially responsible than she is and will therefore have more to lose if things go south. 2. Her overreaction and threat of walking out, which indicates either a very fragile ego or malintent. You say you love her more than anything and trust her, but she apparently doesn't love or trust you enough to stay with you. It's obviously one-sided. It's just your feelings for her that won't let you see that. The law is skewed in her favor, and all you're asking her for us to commit to a level playing field and fair terms in case things don't work out. If she has a problem with that, you probably shouldn't trust her. 3. Refusing to discuss finances until after you get married is a giant red flag, and shows that she didn't trust you either. She's simply using her outburst and threat of ending the relationship to try and arm twist you into feeling guilty. This is a major indication of planned malintent and blatant manipulation. 4. Kicking you out of a house you were paying for is a dick move. There was no discussion, no reasoning, just a straight-up nuclear strike. If this is how she behaves right now, imagine how unreasonable she will be if you ever is for a divorce. You need to protect yourself, because all the laws otherwise protect her and there are jail terms for being unable to pay alimony. If she isn't willing to sign a document keeping you out of prison, she doesn't really love you as much as you'd like to believe. You didn't F up. She did. And you're lucky you caught this early. You've done everything right, and she is clearly in the wrong. Don't let her outburst bully you into signing over your future to her. If she truly loves you more than your money, she'll calm down and come back, even if it is after you've moved out. If not, you've just dodged a candy-coated bullet that wanted the right to point a gun at your head all through your life. I think you just dodged an artillery shell. If things go from best relationship ever to I can't marry you in 5 minutes, you're being used. If your relationship is so fragile that even a simple conversation can break it, it was never going to last anyway. A conversation about a prenup is not even in the top 100 things you guys would have gone through in the next 15 years. Might as well figure out your weaknesses now.
Run.
ID. This is her reaction. I think you didn't foo at all. I think you really should look into this or leave, because what she did is not a sign of a healthy relationship. To add to the fact, her reaction is really suspicious. You didn't foo. You dodged a bullet. Discussing finances and protecting assets for both parties should absolutely be discussed pre-wedding. Oh, that's all it took? Sit on it and spin, honey. Talking about future financial plans is an important part of premarital counseling. You really want to be aligned when it comes to mommy as a couple. Been divorced, didn't have a prenup, no extraordinary circumstances in dissolution of the marriage, no infidelity, no abuse, etc. She got half of everything. Plus I'm paying her combined child plus spousal support that is 3 by 4x what she earns from working. She chooses to work about half time. Courts don't care. There's nothing wrong with a prenup. Sometimes people aren't who you think they are. Sounds like a significant overreaction to me. OMG, you dodged a bullet, man. Her reaction is way out of proportion. Make sure you ask for your ring back. You didn't do anything wrong in wanting the discussion. She is the one being selfish and immature. However, it should be said that your suggestion was pretty one-sided. You get to keep your house, but you'll also have a claim on hers as that is the marital home. Although I'd like to believe you would have recognized that and negotiated a fair position for both of you, if the conversation had got to that point. Nah, don't trust that. If only discussing a prenup makes her jump ship, that should make you want a prenup even more. I am sorry you are in this situation, but you need to think of your future and your opinion matters just as much as hers. I got divorced last summer. We had a prenup. If I had it to do over, I would still have done a prenup, but not the one we did. A prenup done well protects both of you. A prenup, by its nature, has to be written from the point of view that the partnership is no longer working. That's why it's used for divorces. My failure was in better protecting my own interests in the prenup. It's really hard to anticipate everything. And while I don't believe my ex was intentionally out to screw me over, I feel screwed over in some ways because of an economy we didn't anticipate. It's really hard to sort out whether one of us was actually screwed over because of how it was written and because we didn't discuss finances enough to update it for changing times. If you are each coming to the marriage with a house, you need a prenup for each of your safety and security, for clarity, for peace of mind in those moments that are going to come up when one or both of you isn't so sure about things, to avoid potential resentments building up, and so you can stay together because you want to, not because you feel stuck economically. I think ideally my ex and I would have discussed the prenup and the big picture of our finances annually, to make sure everything was still feeling right and fair and no one was questioning or resenting anything. These are all solid reasons for wanting a prenup that are about keeping the relationship healthy, not about distrust. Finances are hard. Talking about them is hard. A prenup gives some structure to the conversation, which makes it easier. I hope you and your fiancé can repair things.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.